Yeah.
We all want to be better humans, improve our relationships, improve our careers, be kinder. But how do we shift into our true nature, and shift into who we really want to be versus who we think we are, using the energy codes that you provide with talking about bioenergetics and the energy codes?
Yeah, so I wrote a book about bioenergetics and how all this stuff that we're talking about already fits together and how we can start to heal or shift or utilize that to our advantage. And I'll have to just, to cut to the chase in the short time that we have together today, I just want to say that the single most important thing that we can do is to actually learn more ways to love than we knew the day before. If we can find some way to lean into and to embrace and to love into whatever it is that is happening in our lives, we will actually, in a retroactive way, we would go back to the discussion that we were just having. We will actually have an influence on those tiny particles in the most profound way, in the most efficient way, that is the most comprehensive way, all at the same time. Because as we are studying energy, we're finding that the most comprehensive vibrational frequency of energies that we study is the frequency of love. That when you start compressing energy to get physical matter, which is how we get physical matter, it's just compressed energy. The chair that you're sitting in is compressed energy. This body is compressed energy. They're just compressed at different states, and that determines how solid or how pliable they are. And so if we start compressing to get to physical form, if we reverse that and go all the way out, the very first compression of this unified field, the 0-point field, meaning the backdrop of everything that exists, if you start compressing it to get anything, the very first vibration that gets created is the vibrational frequency that we call love. So if we are loving, we are as close to infinite possibilities being true for us as we can get and still be in a body. When we're thinking and driving and asserting and being right and judging and arguing and fighting for what we want, we come into a more compressed state. So we're not as open to infinite possibilities. Now, it doesn't mean that we don't stand for what we believe in. It doesn't mean that we don't lean into what matters most to us. In fact, it means exactly that we do, but we do it in a loving way, in a space of generosity, in a place of both and instead of either or. Is it possible that we could both be right? Is it possible that we could all be right? And if so, could we find a way to live together and to coexist and to honor each other? The byproduct of that is our nervous system starts to get a different message. It starts to calm down instead of rising up into fight or flight and putting us in defense physiology and stopping healing so that all of our energy can go to surviving or winning the fight. And instead, it stays in the parasympathetic dominance where it's able to assess what needs healing and what needs to be repaired or rejuvenated or replenished. And it's literally a chain reaction that drops us right into our most magnificent capacity if we learn to lean in a loving fashion. So that's my quick answer in a very huge way to try to cut to the chase and give people something that is applicable, but that is also based in some of the most cutting edge research that we're studying. Who'd have thought that science would have to go this far to ever get to the place where we would say, it turns out it's smart to love. Turns out it's a real good idea to love.